no fear, only fight. I'm fearless, it's only right. My head's up, I stay strong, forever young, may you live long. With perseverance, hold on and stand tall. Never back down with my back against.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the After Party Hangover. I am your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is a show that talks about a show that talks about a show. And I gotta say, this is a historic hangover, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the first new guest we've had since April 21st of 2020. That was only the 37th hangover. Since then, I've been having repeat guests. I've been having group guests, and then the tripod sessions happened. But finally it happened, folks. Lightning has struck. We got a brand new SRAP Army member in Johnny Harmsway, aka the Hardcore Dad. How are you doing, my man? Welcome to the After Party Hangover.
I am doing great. I am stoked to be here. Yeah, you guys got me all into this very I think a couple months ago, or what was it, last year even. Yeah, what do you call it, Matthew JH. You know, got in touch with him. He got me hooked up with you, and then I started listening to the Still Real After Party, and here we are.
Well, for 37 episodes, I had a generic list of questions I would ask each guest because they were just things I want to know, basic things. And the first question I always asked, well, you go by Johnny Harmsway and APPW, but you're also the Hardcore Dad on Instagram. I always ask, what is the origin of your Instagram handle?
Oh God. Oh, well, okay. So it actually started out as I was a Marvel Comics fan. It started out as Deadpool or Dadpool 302, DADPOOL, and 302. I live in Delaware. It was like the zip code, so I came up with that. But I wasn't getting a lot of followers, so I talked to a couple guys on there, and they're like, "You need like a very generic name without a number, you know what I mean, something like that." And there's another dad on there is called Check Your Kids at the Door. He came up with a name. It was free. I used it. It doesn't really mean anything. I like, I'm an old school hardcore fan. I like that stuff, like music and stuff. But yeah, it just kind of came about out of nowhere.
And just to pronounce it correctly or give people the handle on Instagram, it's the_hardcore_dad. He's got plenty of followers. Hopefully some of you are watching right now.
I'll put it up, man, once it gets going, see if we can get somebody to watch you.
And then, of course, the Johnny Harmsway character in APPW, out of curiosity, I believe you've told me before, but if you would reiterate for the crowd, the people that are listening right now, who and how did Johnny Harmsway come into play?
Oh, man. So, again, I'm a big music fan. Johnny Cash is one of my favorite singers of all time. I got him tattooed on my calf. Harmsway is a hardcore band, metal band, and they're a newer band I got into a few years ago. And it just sounded cool to put it together. That's all.
Hey, man, it works. It works. We're all bought into Johnny Harmsway. Big coming for Johnny Harmsway, by the way.
I love it. I love it.
So another rarity here is that you came into the APPW before the SRAP. Like you said, your good friend JH, who's one of the most hated people. Kayfabe in APPW.
I wore the Misfit shirt just as homage to him,
There we go. A shout out to JH. How did you meet JH? Like, where did that friendship come from? And when you first heard the SRAP, what were your thoughts?
So, all right, the dad page. I started the Instagram dad page. I think he started kind of about the same time, and I was just reaching out just to some of the dad pages, and somehow we got connected on there. Found out we were both original. I'm originally from New Jersey. We started talking about that stuff. Found out we liked the same type of music. It just kind of came from like just chatting back and forth, man. Then we found out we both like wrestling. Started doing the wrestling memes, and yeah, then he introduced me to the Still Real After Party. Started listening to that, and those guys they cracked me up. I'll tell you what, I was going to mention this right off the bat, but their theme music for that when it starts out, man, I don't know, for some reason it pumps me up. I don't know where they got that from, but it gets me going.
It's called Testify by They Live, They Breathe, and their Zanka is friends with the band, so they're allowed to use that song as their intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I downloaded it too. I memorized all the lyrics. I love that song as well. They got a lot of good music. It Lives, It Breathes. They cover wrestling theme songs as well. Well, speaking of old school, take us back, Johnny. Take us back, hardcore dad. Take us back, all the way back to the origin. How did you get into watching wrestling?
Man, so I'll be 42 years old this year. It just, I guess, back when I was a kid, yeah, just Saturday mornings, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Mr. Perfect, uh, Brother Love, the barbershop, Brutus Barber Beefcake, just little things like that. It was just stuff I got used to watching, and I just kind of stuck with it and stuck with it. And then as I got a little older, yeah, the Attitude Era, um, yeah, got me really into it. And then after that, John Cena. John Cena, I think he's the greatest champ of all time. We could talk about who we think is the greatest champs of all time and whatnot. And I'm sure we could argue to you, till we're blue in the face. Like I even wore the hat for you.
Oh shit. See me.
But yeah, no, I just the kid thing, man. It just always stuck with me. And my high school yearbook, if you go back to where I graduated high school, in my little profile of my picture, it was like, what do you want to do when you get out of high school? What do you want to be when you grow up? And it was like professional wrestler. I swear it's in there. I can take a screenshot of it when I can find my yearbook and show it to you. Never panned out, obviously, but
It might not have panned out in the real life squared circle, but in APPW, you were killing it, my friend.
I was gonna say, you've given me the chance to, semi live my dream as an old man here. I really appreciate it. I enjoy it every day.
I gotta say, Johnny Harm's Way is one of the most passionate promos, and he nails it, man. You would think he is a professional wrestler at how good he is at these promos, and they're all different, they're all original, and we all appreciate the passion, especially Jake. Now that you're on Dynamite, Lord
Yeah.
Jit show.
Yeah, I don't want to say I don't want to steal stuff, but I watch old promos too, man. Like you get on YouTube, you touch something's like, all right, let me throw something like that in there just to I don't know. It's fun to do, and I appreciate when you ask me for one.
I idolized The Rock and Stone Cold growing up, so when I try my promos, I try to dabble a little bit here, a little bit there, but it just comes out in a jumbled mess because I forget what I'm gonna say, and then I just say, fuck it, that's good enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like a real strong Italian accent or anything, but like I'm a big Goodfellas fan and all that stuff. So I was like, let me just try to every once. I don't know if I do it very well sometimes, but I try my best.
Yeah, you did. You do really good. You had me convinced.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you were busting my balls with the Mario and then on the outside, killing me, man.
That was fun. Yeah, we all bust each other's balls on APBW just to hype up the feud, make it a little more, more entertaining for the people that watch. And people are watching, so we must be doing something right.
I take none of it personally. I fucking love it when you guys bust my chops, man. It makes my day.
Well, speaking of the old schoolness, like you were saying, Mr. Perfect, Hogan, all that, who was your favorite wrestler and who is your favorite wrestler now?
Mr. Perfect was my favorite wrestler of all time. He's number one. If you talk about like current guys that are wrestling, God, AJ Styles. I've always been a huge AJ Styles fan. I know they don't push him as well as they should right now. I know he's going into a feud with Karrion Kross for, would you say, like the 19th time. Yeah. I still think he's one of the greatest like performers out there. There's so much I love about what's going on right now, but I have my thoughts on, like I get an argument with guys all the time about Roman Reigns. Everybody hates Roman Reigns. I love Roman Reigns, and I could talk exactly.
Acknowledge your cheek. No. By the way, say Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig as your favorite wrestler is that's how you know you're a real wrestling fan, because other people be like, oh, I was a Hulkamaniac, or fucking Ultimate Warrior, yay. But Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, still to this day has my favorite SummerSlam match of all time versus Bret the Hitman Hart. That match at SummerSlam was fucking amazing. Someone actually kicked out of the Perfect Plex. I was a little kid, but I dropped a log back then. I was like, oh my God, someone kicked out of it. Like he's a great wrestler. I agree. He's awesome.
He was a technician and he was a great promo guy. Everything about him, man. And he deserved to, other than being the greatest intercontinental champ of all time, he deserved a shot at the heavyweight, but he never, never panned out.
And when you talk about perfect promos, this man was the king of it. He spit his gum out, slapped it every time. He threw the football pass to himself. That's legendary. That's still brought up to this day with me and my friends.
And I think Razor Ramon or Scott Hall, I think he brought that up as the whole toothpick thing. Like he remembers like watching Kurt Hennig, and they're still around the same time, but he said it was one of those things, man.
He probably helped teach him the ropes when he was coming up and shit.
Yeah, that's too soon.
As far as music goes, I know you're a music fan. I mean, there's a lot of wrestling themes. There have been a lot of wrestling themes, but at the top of Johnny Harmsway's all-time list, who is number one favorite wrestling theme of all time?
Like music?
Yeah,
like
just the theme. Yeah,
Ultimate Warrior. You hear that, like, man, and I don't know. I still watch some of the stuff. Like, you hyped up, get hyped over it, man. He's in my probably top 5 favorite wrestlers too, man. Ultimate Warrior.
That song, when you hear it, it feels like somebody just put a main line of Mountain Dew in your vein, and you're just like, yeah,
Totally
caffeinated. Perfect theme to start your day.
Yes, sir.
Especially after you down a Red Bull. Well, we've talked about superstars, we've talked about music. Now, finishing move. What is your favorite finisher of all time?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. Ones that I thought were, let me start with ones I thought were extremely believable was Earthquake. Landing on the dude's chest. Same thing, Yokozuna. It was just one of those things you're like, God damn, man. But yeah, Perfect Plex is up there. But the one I probably grew up doing the most was either, it's probably a tie between Rick the Model's Boston Crab and Bret the Hitman Hart Sharpshooter. Yeah, I don't know what it is. 2 submission moves. You know me, I like the submission stuff, the technician stuff. But yeah, I'd have to say either it's a tie between Rick the Model's Boston Crab and Bret the Hitman Hart Sharpshooter.
For me, it might have to be the figure 4, Ric Flair's figure 4, or the ankle lock. Those are my 2 favorite submissions. The ankle lock is so easy to do, and plus Kurt Angle, my favorite of all time, used it. So
I remember trying to put my brother in the figure 4 many a times. So there's things you're like, this could probably break somebody's leg.
I put my big brother, in every wrestling move imaginable, and it never hurt him. Like, he would laugh. I'm like, am I not doing this right?
Then you're hoping he wasn't going to flip it over and reverse the figure 4, right?
He was just like fucking Reed Richards, the rubber man. He just could not be submitted.
Yeah, I have so many old VHS tapes of me and my brother whooping each other's ass and shit. It's good stuff, man.
So speaking of APPW, I had a question. I was interested. Who has seen your character in APPW? Like your friends or family or anybody? Has anyone seen it?
I've pushed it on the page a few times, but nobody's ever said anything. My kids, they've I got 3 kids. They're 8 years old, 5 and 3 years old, and they laugh. They always want to know what Dad's doing. I thought about trying to incorporate them, but I was like, I don't know where to throw the kid in there. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But my 2 youngest boys, yeah, they love it. They crack up. You saw the catch-up thing.
Well, so Sheriff accidentally had his son listen to the tripod, and he sent a video to the group of his son doing the sticks dance. He was all into the sticks dance, and it was fucking funny. So I was gonna use that in the video, but I was like, man, we'll just leave it. No intro, because I don't think people care about the intro anyway.
It's good stuff, man. I know you put a lot of work into it. It's good stuff, man. It is.
Thank you, sir. We're gonna talk about the podcast that brought all of us together.
Yes, sir.
This Steel Reel After Party episode 165, called Black Buns. However, if I was in control, I would have called it The Fat and the Furious, which Zanka mentioned later on in the episode. I thought that was funnier.
I thought that was funny too. I literally re-listened to a little bit of that this afternoon, man. he lives fast, and he said, "I live fat." I was like, "This is great."
Black buns was like the last two words said before the podcast cut off too. I thought that was kind of interesting, but yeah, Fat and the Furious way better. Uh, this is how we do it reference went right over Jake's head, which of course showed how young he is by Montel Jordan. Every time someone says this is how we do it, I hear that song in my head too.
100%.
Zenka's Shadow Band on Instagram. I listened to this podcast and like immediately after I messaged him on Instagram like an idiot because I was asking him for APPW stuff and I was like, why isn't he getting back to me? It's because his ass was shadow banned on Instagram, and you have a meme page as well. Have you ever been shadow banned? Have you ever run into any trouble on Instagram?
Yeah, yeah. Like when you do when you do any of those porn memes, like you use like a porn like picture, even though it's like your caption has nothing to do with porn. Yeah, sometimes you get reported for that dumb shit, and yeah, you get like shadow banned where your shit don't show up. You get like 2 likes on something. It's horrible. I don't take it seriously. Like I do it for fun, just like I do the APPW stuff for fun. Majority of my life is way too fucking serious. So like just little things like this, man, just kind of keep me, you know, happy.
If YouTube could shadow ban people, I should have been banned years ago for this shit we've done on APPW. My God, alone.
The goddamn Caesar rant, yeah. Which another thing, you know, the beginning of the tripod, that's catchy too. Every time I hear fucking Joe sing it, man, it gets stuck in my damn.
Shout out to Joe Hendry.
Yeah, welcome to the try. It gets stuck in my head.
It was funny too. He was very reluctant to do that cameo. He
Oh,
kept saying, I've been told to say, like trying to protect himself. Jake said he's a fan of the Saw movies and did not know that Carrie Elwes was in the Saw movies.
Yeah, very first one.
He did not know that Carrie was also in Robin Hood Men in Tights. I almost punched an 80-year-old immigrant at work when I heard this. Jake even knows the actor who plays Jigsaw, Tobin Bell. Let's be real, though. All of Jake's pop culture knowledge is pop-based because he's a massive Funko he's the Funko fat guy, massive pop fan. I'm pretty sure he has them autographed by the actors and shit, but he doesn't. Carrie Ellis was in the first one, and throughout the series, there's like clips of him, and at the final one, he was in it as well. So I was very disappointed in Jake's knowledge of the Saw series since he says he's a big fan. Because I'm a big fat geek as well, but Johnny Harmsway, are you familiar with the Saw movies? Do you like the Saw movies?
I've seen them. Yeah, I do like them. I don't want to say I'm a pussy, but horror movies, they tend to bother me a while afterward. But I do watch them. Yeah, the Saw. I know like Donnie Wahlberg, he was in it, right? The New Kids on the Block one. I remember that one. What's the? I don't think was the chick. Was it chick that played Punky Brewster? Or there was one of them where there's one of the hot chicks in it. Man, I forget who she was from.
There was a lot of different.
Yeah, there's a million of the movies. Yeah,
a lot of people.
I did not know. I did not know the actor's name that plays Jigsaw now. But
okay, well now you know it's Tobin Bell.
Now
and returning. Saw 10 is coming. I think next month. At the end of next month, we're getting another entry in the series, which of course I'm a massive fan of. I watch all the Fast and Furious movies, so of course I'm gonna be keeping up on all the fucking series. The only series that I never kept up with was Harry Potter. Never a fan of that.
I get Fast and the Furious, good stuff. Harry Potter, yeah, not so much. No, I'm not into that.
No, not really. Jake did not need to say he was a boneless wing eater. It's obvious, Jake. You are the face and gut of boneless wing eater. Just tangent here. Shout out to Caesar's rants on the tripod. I appreciated that. Excellent rant on the recent tripod. He talks about White Heaven and Massa Michaels. Not to put you on the spot, but have you listened to the newest tripod?
I have not. I have not.
It's very entertaining. Caesar, of course, legendary for his rants.
I go back to work on Wednesday, and that's usually when I pop on the podcast when I'm just sitting in the car, man, doing my thing. So,
and I do notice your comments, so keep them coming. They're very funny. I appreciate the views. They get into the Raw review. Cody Doc was very good, the one on Peacock. Even Caesar watched it and liked it. Very shocking. But yeah, the Cody Rhodes documentary on Peacock, very good if you have any spare time to watch it. Because, he talks about his dad, talks about his family. Brandy Rhodes is in it. All the wrestlers are just talking about him, how good he is. Cody Rhodes seems like a legit good guy. Very dramatic, but I mean, that's something you need if you want to be an interesting character on TV.
I enjoyed him on Raw tonight at the end, coming down, made my night.
It's always good to see Cody Rhodes on WWE and AEW. We were all over his ass. Sloths don't fart.
Did not know that.
Having a sloth would be like having a Down syndrome kid, Zanka said. And of course, that would have been the LOL line of the episode, but something even funnier came along. Yeah. So with JH was on the Hangover last time, I talked about Poor Camp. And Poor Camp, it kind of got lost on Jake. Like they kind of turned it into a celebrity. Tony Khan and Vince McMahon showing up, trying to make money and stuff, like an apprentice thing. But Zenka says he eats microwave bologna. That's what I'm talking about for Poor Camp. That's the poor I'm talking about. He doesn't like cold lunch meats. I agree. I think because I have horrible teeth, that's probably why. But yeah, whenever I can get my sandwich toasted, I toast it. I like the fucking meatball subs, like anything hot meat. That's not gay code. I do enjoy hot meat though. But Johnny Harmsway, what are your thoughts on lunch meats or Poor Camp or what they were talking about?
What, like the gabagool or the? No, I do. Yeah, I do not warm up my bologna. I do enjoy a good bologna sandwich. Same thing. I would like to say, like, I just got off my private jet and went down and bought my third Lamborghini. But no, I did not. I don't come from a ton of money either. I had to work my way to do everything, and I did. Yeah, a lot of bologna. Where we come from, we got the Taylor pork ham or the pork roll. Pork roll. I don't know if you guys have pork roll, but pork roll is real big in New Jersey over here. Scrapple, old stuff like that. But lunch meat, yeah, turkey, bologna. I'm all about it.
Do you eat cheese?
Yes.
What's your favorite?
Oh man. Depends what I'm eating it on, but what I say, what do I eat the most of? Mozzarella, obviously. A lot of fresh mozz. We, like the wet thing. I'm gonna cut that up, man. Put on a lot of shit.
Nice. For me, it's a tie between provolone and sharp cheddar. Like I love sharp cheddar. It tastes great on sandwiches.
Yeah, provolone. I will do with the roasted pork and broccoli, Rob. You put a ton of provolone on that. That's where it's at. I'm with you.
I mean, some of my blood is cheese and some of it's mangria, but yeah, I can't get enough. Can't get enough of that queso. But I'm gonna go on a little rant here because I'm passionate about Poor Camp because it's my idea. My vision for Poor Camp is pretty much put kids through 80s, 90s childhood poverty. The goal being for current kids to appreciate all that they have. 70-inch plasma TV, smartphones, access to good internet, great air conditioning and heating, social media of all kind, fast food, DoorDash shit. Poor Camp would be like that one show from the 90s. I got to test your memory here. I don't know if you're a couch potato like I was in the 90s, but on Nickelodeon, they had this show called What Wild and Crazy Kids. Do you remember that fucking show? It was basically an obstacle course show for kids.
Omar, the black dude, was the host.
Right.
I remember it.
That's
yes,
right.
sir.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like divide kids into groups, have them compete in challenges to win like just a bit of what they have now. Whoever wins a challenge gets like 10 minutes of social media time or food from anywhere they want. Losing teams get a bag of Necco wafers, a Capri Sun, a sack
of Necco wafers.
That's what JH said. A sack of army men and an Etch-a-Sketch. A dinner would be ramen noodles and green beans. But yeah, that's my whole concept of Poor Camp. I think it would be funny as hell if they actually did do this, but of course it would get shut down halfway through the first episode.
Who would you get to host it? You gonna go like an old 90s host, or you gonna like, JD Roth or
I don't know if it should be a nobody so their career won't get ruined, or should it be somebody who's super famous, like a super famous rich asshole like maybe like Ryan Seacrest, rich asshole, or somebody people hate. Or but like I said, like a nobody would be nice too, so their whole career won't be ruined. Like whoever hosted the blind date show, I forgot what his name was, but that where does he been? I don't know where he went, but I think it would be funny. It would be at least a half-hour show, once a week, new episode. The season finale would be like a Hunger Games fucking match to get off the island. No,
You have to survive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it. I like it. I would watch it. I would watch it.
I know you're a busy man. However, have you seen Twisted Metal yet?
I have not seen Twisted Metal yet.
Okay. It's a really good show. I highly recommend it.
Like again, I have three kids who commandeer my TV when I'm fucking home all day, and they watch fucking YouTube, but they watch fucking videos of people playing fucking video games. It's the worst fucking thing. I can't wrap my mind around it. It's either that or that fucking he's called Blippy. You ever heard of fucking Blippy? He's this grown ass man. He got a fucking goofy like blue and orange hat on with glasses, and he acts like a fucking little kid. It's the guy that came up with it. This guy that is Blippy, he's a fucking genius. Don't get me wrong. He's got fucking millions of dollars now,
Yeah.
but it drives me fucking insane.
That sounds like a horrible show. That and I can't watch people play video games because I get motion sickness very easily when I'm watching other people do video games. Like if someone else is playing Call of Duty and I'm back there like critiquing them, like if they just run around for a minute, I'm already to barf because I can't handle that shit.
I think
So
they watch Roblox. It's called Roblox, and it's like it's like fucking little Lego guys, and it makes you fucking sick when you're watching it. It's horrible.
what does this generation come to? Jake watches the anime One Piece, to which Zanka replied, "That sounds like a boring order at KFC." Even that would have been the LOL line, but nope, something funnier came along. Caesar wants to trick Zanka into saying the N-word on the pod. Zanka was tricked into it a long time ago. Jake deleted the archives with SRAP, so I'll never be able to find out when or who it was, but it was a random person tricked Zanka into saying it. He stumbled. He's like, "Oh shit!" Like he didn't realize he said it.
Was it with a hashtag, or was it?
It might have been his hashtag or his name.
Okay.
But he did trick Zanka into saying it. The LOL line of the episode is when this was discussed, and Zanka said, "I've said it way more than once, but that's just in traffic." That's the LOL line of the episode. I laughed so hard when he fucking said that. I went in the chat and I put that up there. It was hella funny, man. Zanka is a Ron Burgundy ass motherfucker. Go off, Black King. Any closing thoughts on the Black Buns episode?
The how to make Hitler better, right? There's I hear they're talking about having a Winnie Pooh voice or whatever.
Oh, that was the beginning.
I was like, what if you made fucking Hitler a midget? You know, would you like, or I'm sorry, a little person? You can't say a little person. You know, like what if Hitler was a fucking little person? Would I hate him less? I don't know. I mean, I'm not.
Wait a minute. Would making Hitler a midget make him just a little bit evil?
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, would you hit him a little bit less because you feel bad for them?
Well, at least he would have a reason to hate if he was a midget. Because being an artist and being made fun of, that's not much of a reason. But making Hitler likable, that's only something Zanka could do.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna drop a surprise on you, Johnny. I actually reached out to the SRAP Army to ask you some questions.
Oh shit. Okay.
The sheriff asks, "Johnny, what's your favorite smell?"
My favorite smell. Oh God. Probably chocolate chip cookies right out the oven, man. You know?
Yeah, okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah. That is
I was gonna go with like a heated up, musty vagina, but
I thought you were gonna say like a fresh asshole or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
got him.
Your good pal, old JH, of course, had to step in as well to ask a question. What's the better Christmas movie? First Blood, Batman Returns, or Die Hard?
Fuck you, JH. We know we're not gonna say fucking Die Hard. I've already told you, Die Hard's not a fucking Christmas movie, and I'll die on that fucking hill.
He
Um,
knew that was gonna upset you, by the way.
what was my other two fucking choices? What were they again? Let's try.
First Blood and Batman Returns.
Batman Returns. I'm a Batman fan. I'm going Batman.
Batman Returns is underrated. I don't know why that doesn't get brought up more often. I mean, we had Catwoman, we had Batman ripping his fucking mask off at the end. Spoilers. Danny DeVito in the role he was born to play.
Yeah, it even had fucking Christopher Walken in it, and Michael Keaton's one of the best fucking Batman. You know what I mean? It's yeah.
He did reprise the role in the most recent Flash movie, and he was the best part of the movie. The rest was, eh. But
Yep.
again,
And again, fuck you, JH. Fuck you.
the sheriff asks, if all animals were the same size, who would win in an all-out orgy to the death?
All out orgy to the death if all animals are the same size. Silverback gorilla.
Okay, that's interesting because I had a different answer. A horse.
A horse.
A horse.
First of all, that silverback gorilla is going to grab a hold of that fucking horse to do some damage, brother.
Hold on, you're not thinking all the way through. See, the horse might have 4 visible limbs, but he has a secret weapon between his legs. So while he's almost getting attacked, he can swirl his fucking. And everyone's the same size. It'll probably be like a 10-foot dick. He can swirl around like a lasso right around the silverback's neck, and then he has the speed. He can take off and fucking drag and well, that's kind of racist. That horse is racist, by the way. If he's lynching a silverback gorilla, that's racist. But you got to do what you got to do to survive, Johnny.
I like your answer, but I'm going to still disagree. However, I like your scenario.
I got to try and think like a sheriff.
The old horse cock hanging. I like it.
A horse cock, secret weapon. Your buddy JH asked another question. What's your opinion on Smash Mouth's first album?
Smash Mouth, classic. I'm not gonna lie, I like some Smash Mouth. There's a lot of other bands that I extremely enjoy that everybody else would say I shouldn't, but obviously Hall & Oates, you know that. But yeah, Smash Mouth first album, awesome.
Okay, well, this should be an easy question from the host to you then. What was their biggest hit off their first album?
Off their first album? Isn't that the Hey Now I'm an All-Star?
Nope.
Not on the first album. Well, all right. Do tell me.
Walking on the Sun.
Walking on the Sun.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's funny is sadly, Smash Mouth, they're not doing so good lately. They came to our local fair about 6 or 7 years ago, and you can pay for seats up close, but it's open to the general public to stand way in the back, which we did. There were nobody there, man. I felt so bad for Smash Mouth. There were like 3 people that got up and left out of the paid seats. Like, we felt so bad for Smash Mouth because I mean they do have some hits. I'm not hating on Smash Mouth. I like Smash Mouth. Yeah. But I mean,
on radio, you're not changing the channel, man. I'm listening.
And they're coming back this year.
You got to get your boys together, man.
So now I'm gonna see after 7 years, are they more appreciated, less appreciated? Because I live in a heavily Hispanic town, I'll say. Let's see if any fans stick around for this one, but it's gonna be funny. The sheriff asks, oh my God, how fast do you think you could enter Mangria? I need a time.
How fast can I enter Mangria? Like if I had to like force you, like if we were gonna go like have to wrestle over this.
You buy me dinner first, and we'll talk.
I don't know. You know, I like to fancy myself a pretty good wrestler, pretty tough guy, but I don't know. You know, I have to size you up in person.
It'd be like wrestling. You know the giant gorillas they use in front of car dealerships to advertise. Basically that, just as squishy.
Fair enough.
But I'm wily. No. Sheriff also asks, which windows taste the best?
The ones in the back of a cop car, the snozberries taste like snozberries.
Jesus. Which windows taste the best? I'm guessing he's a window licker. Your buddy, your buddy comes back. Which superstar do you think you can beat in a real fight?
Like WWE superstar in a real fight.
Any wrestler, yeah.
So I don't- I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley. I could kick her ass.
What about like Seth Rollins? You think you can beat him down?
Yeah, I could fuck Seth Rollins up.
He's CrossFit Jesus. You could take him.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Not afraid of fucking Seth Rollins.
Well, apparently he has back problems, so you know where to go when you're fighting him. Just elbow that back and shit, and get him all out of sorts.
Rey Mysterio, I'd probably fuck him up. Dom, I could fuck Dom up. There's some guys I'm not going near, but yeah, Sami Zayn, I could probably fuck him up. He looks like a twig. I mean, he's got some durability, but I could probably fuck him up.
Yeah. What about like I was gonna go with a Samoan, like Solo Sikoa.
No, I'm not fucking with those boys, man. Any of them Samoans, even from back in the day, the fucking
Head shrinkers.
Head shrinkers and fucking Rikishi, all them motherfuckers, Yokozuna, not fucking with them.
I'd imagine he'd have a difficult time.
Yeah.
The sheriff Swartz. Oh, he's trying to get me to say the N-word. I see what he's doing. Schwarzenegger or Stallone?
Arnold.
Arnold. Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Favorite Arnold movie?
Ooh. Let's say favorite Arnold movie. There's so many, man. Predator.
Nice. That's a good one.
I got a fucking Predator fucking painting up in my basement down here.
I know the easy answer would be Terminator. That's probably what everybody would say, but I loved Schwarzenegger in Total Recall. I saw it as a young kid. It stuck with me forever. Him on Mars with his eyes bulging out and shit. Like that movie, I'll kill you, Benny. Like it's great movie.
The chick with 3 tits.
The 3 titties. I mean, as a young kid, when I saw that blew my fucking mind, Johnny. My head was, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, they can have 3? How come I only got 2 nuts? Like, what's happening here?
Yes, and I remember, and then I got the video game for Nintendo, like hoping that fucking I was gonna see a fucking chick with 3 tits. It didn't pan out.
No titties. Not even a nip. How many Zenkas could you fit in a dryer?
I've never seen him in person, but I'm gonna say he's a small man. I'm gonna say 3.
3. Okay. You're a strong guy, so you could probably do it.
Oh yeah.
How would you fare in a headbutting contest with a midget?
So if any of my friends are watching this and they want to comment on this fucking video, they'll tell you my go-to move is the fucking headbutt.
Oh, so really?
Yeah, let me tell you. So this guy that an employee that started working with us. He's 6'6", 290 pounds. Right, used to play football at Maryland. I've been on the job a long time, and my buddy introduced me to him. He was like, "Hey, this is whatever." And to prove my dominance, I shook his hand and I headbutted him in the fucking face. You gotta go. I'm all about the headbutt. So
Jesus, yeah. I should have gave you that move in fucking APBW.
Yeah, Chris Benoit's on off my list. You know, we don't do the headbutts in there.
Damn,
that's my go-to move, man. If all my friends are watching, that's my go-to move. I can tell you that.
So when you do it, doesn't it fuck you up too? Like, don't you like?
No, because you got to do it right in the fucking nose.
Right in the nose. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Let me take notes. Hold on. In the
fucking man, the crown of your, up here, man. That's the hardest part, man. You put it around somebody's nose, eyes water. Next thing you know, you're all over them. Biggest dude goes down with that, man. You're gonna win the fight.
Our boy JC, Julius Caesar, dropped a couple questions.
Yes.
If given the chance, would you have one night in the bedroom with Shayna Baszler, or take a chop from Gunther?
I'll take a shot from Gunther. That's fucking.
Wait,
That's
hey, that's JH's woman you're talking about there.
oh, no, man. I couldn't do it. Plus, taking a chop from like Gunther would be like fucking historic. Like that's a fucking like something you wear that like a medal. Like I took a fucking chop from Gunther. You know,
That is a badge of honor.
like he was fucking chopping the night, man. It was good shit. It was good shit on Raw.
That match between him and Chad Gable, that's gonna go down as one of the all-time best
Dude.
matches of the
And
year.
like I said, he did. Gable's a fucking animal. Like he deserved a shot at the fucking heavyweight championship too. And like he put him in that fucking German suplex and almost pinned him like a fucking perfect plex. Like, but the backwards, that was fucking awesome.
That strength that he has, they need to. Why haven't they done more than? Remember, they called him Shorty G. I don't know if you were watching it back then. They called him Shorty G, like that was his legit name, like hella disrespecting the guy.
He's like 5'8", you know what I mean? But he's a fucking stud, man.
That's true, but he could probably enter me very quick.
Oh yeah, I'm not wrestling him, man. Not touching that guy.
JC also asks, are you racist during cop hours or racist while you're off the badge as well?
Well, my wife is black, so
Oh, there we go.
no. I don't fancy myself a racist there, Cesar.
Oh man. Okay. We're talking current day. Would you fuck Sunny in the chili hole and pay her tab, or would you rather jerk off in a can of string bean casserole in a truck stop bathroom?
I did see the photo of Sonny. I'm still doing her.
Whoa,
Yeah.
bragging rights.
Oh yeah, it's just one of the things. Like I like her like her like growing up, Trish Stratus, all those girls. Like I don't care how fucked up they are. I'm all in.
You know who's on my bucket list of back in the day divas? Remember Layla? Layla was with Michelle McCool. Back, it was like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. She was British.
It's not ringing a bell, man.
Okay, what about Victoria? Victoria, no.
Where was I during these years, man? I mean, I guess I remember John Cena.
You were getting laid while my stupid ass was sitting in front of a TV watching wrestling. Final question is from your boy. What's your opinion on red mulch?
Well, this is a whole fucking dad argument. Okay, you don't do fucking red mulch, and I don't care who you the fuck you are. It's black or brown, and I do the black mulch. You know what I mean, Cesar?
You see, black. Cesar, he's not racist.
It's black mulch, buddy. That red mulch shit. Yeah, no. If you see a dad or a guy with fucking red mulch in his yard, you don't fucking talk to that guy.
Is JH a red mulch guy?
No, it wasn't Jay. There's this guy. He's got another page, Dadscape. He fucking put red mulch in his lawn, and we let him have it because he's probably got the biggest page out of everybody. But we're like, you're a fucking idiot. You just don't do that.
Giving dads everywhere a bad name. Now we're gonna close with the SRAP episode 166. Names are hard.
Yes.
Your butthole has very high toilet awareness. The closer you get to the toilet, you will be in danger of a code brown. That's always fascinated me because it'll hit you maybe when you're sitting in traffic or maybe when you're at the grocery market shopping and you don't want to use the public restroom. I mean, public restrooms are disgusting. But the closer you get to home, because it didn't affect you that much until you got a couple streets closer. Oh, here it comes, closer. Oh shit, it's a prairie dog and it closer. You get home, and then when the biggest struggle of your life is when you finally get into that bathroom, you're trying to take your belt off, you're trying to take your pants down. Meanwhile, you're clenching as hard as you can. But Johnny Harmsway, is this a burden of the fat man, or do you feel my pain?
So I eat so much food, I probably take 3 shits a fucking day. And I drink so much water, I piss every fucking 30 minutes. So no, I totally agree with this concept. Your brain knows it's time to go, and it's where you're getting closer, it gets worse.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. I have to at least ask because the sheriff would be disappointed in me. Do you have a shit my pants story?
I do not have a shit my pants story.
No shit my pants stories?
No, no, I do have a buddy that I was a funnier story. It was, he just started dating this girl. He was sitting in bed eating a sub. They just got done having sex. She was sleeping. He thought he had to fucking just fart, and he shit the fucking bed. And he wasn't sure what to tell her, so he had to wake her up and tell her he fucking shit the bed because he couldn't do anything.
Oh,
Now, I myself, no, that story is not about me. I promise you that.
we know. No, I haven't shit my pants either, but I have suffered the shart
Oh,
incident. Not full like unload in my pants, but sharting for a fat guy. Unfortunately, it's a regular occurrence. I just did it about 5 minutes ago. I didn't want to say anything.
no, but the short's a fair game, like because it's a fart that fooled you. You know what I mean? But you don't actually shit your full pants. I mean, you're talking shit your pants, right? Like I never shit my pants.
Like,
My wife did. We came back. My wife did. I'll tell you a story about her. We come back from a fucking Mexican restaurant. We're driving down fucking I-95, and she said, so I had a Chevy Tahoe at the time. She's up front with me, and she fucking crawls into the back seat, laying on the floor, and she's yelling at me, "Don't look at me." And I couldn't take it. Next thing you know, I got to roll the fucking windows down, and we're just
oh no.
thanks, Ryan. It was great, man.
She's not awake, right? She's asleep.
Oh,
Some
she's in bed, but I don't mind telling the story, and I bring it up as much as I possibly can.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh man.
Oh,
Oh,
don't look at me thing, but like why I've been with her for fucking 20 years, and she's like, don't look at me.
so Jake brought something up at the top of the episode that he got pulled over for having a broken headlight. I want to hear what old Johnny Harmsway would say if he got to pull over a Lord Jake and he rolled down his window. What would you tell him?
If he had a broken headline, he told me that what he was trying to go because he had a shit or
Yeah,
what?
he had to go home because there's a tub calling him.
He's getting a ticket. Yeah, yeah.
Fix it or regular?
What's that?
Fix it ticket or regular ticket?
Oh no, he's getting written up, man.
Oh, okay, good.
He's getting written up. Yeah, I mean, normally if a headlight, I wouldn't write a ticket for a headlight. You know what I mean? But if he's gonna give me some sob story about how he's got to do, I don't want to hear that shit. I want to be like, yeah, I knew it was out. I'm a fucking asshole. I'll let you go if you're honest. He probably was being honest, but it's a fucked up story.
That's right. By the way, speaking of total lack of professionalism, he forgot his notes at home. So I mean, come on, Jay, get your shit together and fix your headlight. They are unhappy with women's wrestling in WWE, which I agree with, but Impact and NXT is where the women's wrestling rarely misses. So tune into that, folks. Zanka brings up Dylan Danny's Logan Paul match, which, by the way, ever since this pod dropped, Dylan has been trolling Logan Paul big time. If you're on Twitter at all, or X, whatever it's called, he has been posting pictures of Logan Paul's fiance like for a couple days now, maybe a couple weeks, like fueling the flame to this fight. I don't know when it is, but my God, does Dylan need a receipt? I mean, Logan Paul is a trash person, but to go after him this vicious about it, I don't know if you're familiar with any of this,
Well,
but I mean,
I
he's
know
making it very personal.
Um, I like Logan Paul. In the wrestling thing, I know, like I said, I haven't really caught too much of the boxing. I did watch his brother's documentary, but Logan Paul is one of the greatest things going on right now.
Mhm.
And that match with Ricochet, I'm not gonna say Ricochet carried him, but Ricochet made him look really good, man. Like they did some great, and like I know Jake was complaining, it was like seemed like it was a try too hard. You know what I mean? Some of the shit they did, but I love that stuff, man. The more fucking crazy shit you do, man, like that's the type of match I like.
I think we have yet to see the best of Logan Paul. I think he's gonna be he's gonna do big things in the future. I predict.
Yeah, I hope so.
Zanka loves summer. Jake loves fall. Newsflash, people, fat guys unite. Summer sucks. Unless you look like Johnny Harms over there flashing the guns. I ain't got no guns. Like I said, I'm the inflatable gorilla in front of the Toyota dealership. I don't like summer. I never have. I always love fall. I love winter. The colder, the better. Thoughts, Johnny?
No, you're right. I'm a summer guy. May comes, I don't fucking wear a shirt. You know what I mean? Till fucking probably about mid fucking October.
Understandable. If you want to see Johnny topless, he's topless all the time in APPW.
Right, I think throw him up there.
There you go, throw them guns up. They did the SummerSlam review. While talking Imperium, Zanka brings up Perennium. which is the area between your sac and your brown eye.
The perineum, yeah, the taint.
My Google search history looks very odd. It contains perineum, the Montgomery Brawl, Lightning Jack, which is a Paul Hogan film, Carrie Elwes. Like, it's just all fucked up thanks to looking up shit for APBW and SRAP, but good times. Well, you're familiar with the perineum, right?
Yeah, the gooch, the taint. Yep.
That's right. That's right. That's where Zenka's brain goes, by the way. He hears a word that sounds like a word, his brain goes right to it, which is why he's funny. Shayna versus Ronda was like kissing dudes for Zenka. He's just not into it. Zenka gives the match a return pizza rating. I don't know if you caught Shayna versus Ronda at SummerSlam. The cash in, of course. No, that wasn't that. No, that was last year. The match was for Shayna. It was just to put Shayna over, and I mean, since then, nothing really much has happened for Shayna. But are you a fan of either Shayna or Ronda?
No, but I know JH probably was cranking one out to that match. He's probably done it 6 or 7 times so far. You know what I mean? Keeps replaying that fucking thing.
He probably could fill up a Coors can of jizz after watching that fucking match.
He loves Shayna, and I'm not sure why, but you know.
Straw and all. Oh, we get a shop.spreadshirt.com/stillreal after party reference for the first time in a long time. They used to say it all the time for his Finding Fuji shirt. If you want SRAP merchandise, check it out. It's good stuff. Jake says Tony Khan might throw a female pay-per-view. Collision 2, oops, all women. That made me laugh. Props to Jake for that one. Zanka's stamp of approval on the Cody doc. Once again, I know you're a busy man, but if you get a free, well, it's kind of long too. You might have to spread it out for a couple days, but it is worth watching. They brush upon PCO on Impact because that's all Jake likes about Impact. I'm not a fan of PCO because he looks like and walks exactly like my least favorite person at my work. Plus, the gimmick gets corny. I appreciate the old school Frankenstein horror theme, but I'm not sold on PCO. I don't know if you're familiar with PCO and Impact Wrestling, but I appreciate the dedication to the character, but that's about it.
I don't catch Impact. I have little time. Like I record Raw, I record SmackDown, and I try to catch them when I can. And yeah, it's mostly like I told you, kid YouTube shit. So,
well, if you want the cliff notes of Impact, a tripod covers it at the end of the show.
Yes.
Jake goes into a tripod themed chop shop. Very honored that the sheriff would choose the tripod trivia. The fact that Jake guessed that Josh Alexander as Styx's favorite Impact wrestler is such dumb luck. I couldn't believe it. He does not get chopped for guessing. He does get chopped for incorrectly guessing Cesar's favorite butt meat, which is Sky Blue. Everybody knows that Tiffany Stratton is my favorite on NXT. I do a bit about it every week or anything. But that's funny. The tripod trivia. I could give them a list of questions if they do that again.
I wish that they would instead, like, there's no video of this. I would like to see these chops, man. I would like to see them.
They did it once. But it was for Fuji salt. Jake, they threw salt in each other's eyes on an Instagram live once. So it was very funny. And they have sent in little clips of them chopping each other to the chat. But yeah, it has been requested to see the chop shop live. It just will be difficult for them. The hardcore dad asked a threesome question for the guys. Zenka chooses Omos and Lizzo. Jake chooses Otis, and Zenka gives Jake Lizzo. A post-Omos threesome. The LOL line of the episode was Zenka wants to be the American slice of cheese in that sandwich. What did you think of the guy's answer to your question?
Oh, the Omos, yeah, because he wants to see what it looks like. How big are you? That's what it says. How big are you? Yeah, no, I was expecting definitely a joke answer. But I appreciate the answer.
Not to say anything bad about the guys or anything, but you can tell when they're in a hurry when they do the questions at the end of the episode, because they like to sprinkle the questions throughout. and they can take their time. But the closer to the end they get, the more rushed they are. So so they'll answer all the questions in a rush, but you know, they're busy too. They have to start work after this, so I understand. It was
Yeah.
funny. It gave me the LOL line of the episode, but
Love it. I love it.
as Jake says, this is gross after all said and done. Jake takes my question and turns it gay. The gayest thing he will die on a hill for: Bath and Body Works soaps, the foaming soaps. If they were to ask me, what would I die on a hill for? What's the gayest thing that I'll die on a hill for? 90s pop music. I love it. I love it. 90s pop music. I'll listen to everything all day. You give me all of it. 98 Degrees, NSYNC, Backstreet, whatever you got. 90s pop music. Britney Spears, fuck it. Bring it. I will listen to it because it's nostalgic, you know?
I get, I got plenty of gay stuff I die on a hill
Oh
for.
no. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear the scoop from the Johnny
Yeah,
Armstrong.
obviously you know I like Hall and Oates. Some people just can't deal with the Hall and Oates stuff. If we're gonna stay with music, obviously I'm a huge Nickelback fan, and I can't wait for the Creed concert reunion.
Mhm.
You know, people can't don't necessarily agree with that. Bud Light, everybody gives me a hard time about. I still drink Bud Light. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I love Bud Light. I don't get into that political bullshit about any of it. Chubby shorts, the shorter the short, man. I like short shorts.
Who likes short shorts?
I like short shorts. And last but not least, Gold Dust is one of the top 10 best characters ever in WWE. I don't care what anybody says. Gold Dust.
The mind games that he plays were perfect back in the day. He was way ahead of his time.
Comes from a great bloodline, man. And even Cody's the best thing fucking going in WWE, man.
Even when he was Stardust. Nickelback, I totally agree. The best concert I've ever been to, hands down, was Nickelback.
I saw him with Bon Jovi, man. Same thing. Fucking awesome.
Did he give out free booze when you saw them?
I saw him at a huge stadium, and they opened for Bon Jovi. So I was at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, and they opened for him. And I wasn't even a huge Nickelback fan at the time until I saw them live, and I started buying their albums. And everybody's like, "Oh, their music is so like, just like what do you call it? There's no thought into it." I'm like, "Well, that's the thing. It's fucking party music, man. It fucking rocks."
I think once you see them live, it makes you a believer. But all the people that hated on Nickelback, I think they were just bandwagoners. Like, there's like, oh, nobody liked Nickelback. I hate Nickelback too, and they just wanted to be cool. Nickelback is good, people. Come on now.
It's mainstream rock and roll that talks about fucking chicks all day. All their songs are talking about fucking chicks. Swear to God.
How can you hate that? So what if they're Canadian? Jake has zero desire to visit Cynic's wrestling company. The disrespect. He's got all the time in the world. He's got money. I know you got money, Jake. You work for your father. Come on. But let me give a shout out to our boy Cynic. He has his own pro wrestling tees as well. It's prowrestlingtees.com/Cynic. He has his Instagram page for his own promotion, Redemption Championship Wrestling on Instagram. Let me pull this up real quick. I saved it.
I just started following Cynic too on Instagram, man. Awesome shit. He just had a match, man, where he picked this big motherfucker up on his back and laid him out, man. I was impressed. Fucking impressed.
Cynic's a good guy. He's a father. He's extremely dedicated to. He's one of the only one of us that actually does it. We just sit down and bitch about it. That motherfucker actually goes out there and beats people up.
He's fucking impressive, man. Fucking impressive. Yeah.
Follow Cynic at Cynic on Facebook, at Cynic13 on TikTok. That's SINNICK 1313. Instagram at XCynicX. For YouTube, it's at the disease 666. On Twitter or X, it's called at diseased vessel Cynic. Go buy his shirt, watch his promotion, support the guy. He's a good dude. That's more for Cynic that I did than Jake has ever done. The faction name for Shayna Baszler and JH, Coors and Cunts. I'm down with it. It's coming to BBW.
That's what I'm talking about.
Caesar fucking with Zanka during the Instagram questions was very funny the whole time, trying to get him to say the N-word. That's gonna be a running bit on the SRP. I hope it was funny. But Johnny, thank you so much for joining me for the Hangover. I'm gonna give you this time right now to promote anything you want, your Instagram, whatever you got. Go for it, man. The floor is yours.
No, I truly appreciate you having me on here, man. I've been looking forward to getting on here. Like I said, I know we talk here and there on online or whatnot, but I'm very happy and proud to be part of this community here, man. Do I want to promote anything? I really don't have anything to promote, man. I mean, my Instagram page, if you want, there's the underscore hardcore underscore dad. If you want to follow it, it's just a bunch of memes, and sometimes I put up a shirtless pic if you're into that shit. But other than that, I only got one thing to say: forget about it. Forget about it.
That's another gay hill I'll die for. No. Thank you, Johnny Harmsway. Thank you, the Hardcore Dad. Really appreciate you for coming. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Go ahead, like and subscribe, do whatever you want. But until next time, all hail Linda's Book.
Peace.